All right, strap yourselves in, everyone, because today we are diving into some of the most dangerous places on Earth.
Ooh, dangerous. I like it.
And I'm serious here, we aren't messing around with your average travel risks or whatever.
Right.
I'm talking sheer cliffs, caves hotter than like a sauna, islands where snakes outnumber the people.
Sounds fun.
Are you ready for this deep dive?
Absolutely, I am. Let's do it.
Awesome. So our guide for today is a YouTube video, and it's from the channel Be Amazed.
All right.
So first up is the Yungas Road in Bolivia.
Okay.
You might know it as Death Road.
Oh, yeah.
It's this narrow, winding road carved into the side of a mountain.
Right.
And get this, there are barely any guardrails.
So you're driving along and it's just like a sheer drop off the side.
Yeah, I mean, imagine yourself behind the wheel on that road. You're navigating like hairpin turns, sheer drop-offs.
Oh, my God.
Constant threat of landslides.
Yeah. And the weather can change so quickly in those mountainous regions.
Absolutely.
You could have like rain or fog rolling in, making visibility almost zero.
Right. So you'd need incredible focus. Nerves of steel.
For sure. I don't even know if I would like get in a car on that road.
It's actually illegal to drive Death Road now, but you know what? People still do.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the thrill is just too much for some people to resist.
Yeah, like some people just can't resist that allure of danger.
Right, pushing the boundaries, you know.
Totally. But for me, I think I'd stick to admiring the scenery from a safe distance.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
Yeah.
What about you? Could you handle that kind of risk?
I don't think so. I think I would be way too scared.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you think about like risk versus reward, right?
Absolutely.
Is the thrill of the drive worth potentially, the ultimate price?
No, definitely not.
It's a question we grapple with in many areas of life, not just on dangerous roads.
That's true.
Like, what are we willing to risk for that sense of adventure or accomplishment?
Okay. Let's move on from a road that tests human limits to a cave that challenges our very biology.
Okay, what's this cave all about?
We're going to the Naica Crystal Cave in Mexico.
Okay.
Just picture this. A cave filled with massive, shimmering crystals. Some of them are longer than a school bus.
Wow. What kind of crystals are we talking about?
They're these giant selenite crystals. They're like translucent.
Oh, wow.
Really otherworldly looking.
So what's the danger here? Is it like unstable or something?
It's the environment, actually. It's so hot and humid inside this cave that you need a special cooling suit just to survive.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
Yeah. The temperatures can reach up to 136 degrees Fahrenheit.
And what about the humidity?
Oh, it's almost 100%.
So it's not just about being uncomfortable. It's actually life-threatening, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, think about the hottest place you've ever been.
Okay.
Now times that by 10.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to sweat just thinking about it.
Yeah, and the humidity means your body can't even cool itself down by sweating.
So basically you'd be like cooking from the inside out.
Basically. It makes you realize that even the most beautiful, like natural wonders, right?
Yeah.
They can have a really dark side.
For sure. It challenges our assumptions about what's safe and what's not. Beauty and danger can coexist, sometimes in the most unexpected places.
Absolutely. Okay. Are you ready to get a little creeped out?
I think so.
Our next stop is Snake Island, or Ilha da Queimada Grande off the coast of Brazil.
Snake Island. I've heard of this place. Isn't it just like covered in snakes?
You guessed it. It's home to thousands and thousands of venomous snakes.
What kind of snakes are we talking about?
We're talking about the golden lancehead viper, one of the deadliest snakes on the planet.
Oh, yeah. I remember reading about those. Their venom is like incredibly potent.
Right. It can cause tissue damage, hemorrhage, even organ failure.
And it can act really quickly, right?
In some cases, a bite can be fatal within hours.
Wow. So how did this island become so infested with these deadly snakes?
Well, get this. The island was once connected to the mainland, but over time, rising sea levels isolated the snakes. And with no natural predators, they just thrived.
Wow. So evolution took a dark turn there.
I'd say so.
It makes you think, like, what would happen if those snakes ever made it back to the mainland?
That's a scary thought.
Yeah, a real-life horror movie scenario.
Oh.
Okay, I think I've had enough snakes for one day.
Me too. So let's shift gears a little bit and explore places where the environment itself is the threat.
Right.
First up, Death Valley in California, one of the hottest and driest places on Earth.
Death Valley. It's like iconic for its extreme heat, right?
Oh, absolutely. And we're not just talking about, a little bit of sunshine. We're talking scorching temperatures that can reach over 130 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, and the dryness. It's like almost no humidity there makes the heat even more intense.
Exactly. Your body just can't cool down effectively. And here's a fun fact for you. The ground in Death Valley can get so hot that you could literally fry an egg on it.
You're kidding, really?
No, I'm serious. But park rangers strongly discourage that, by the way.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, for one thing, it attracts pests, right?
Right.
But more importantly, it just, it trivializes the very real dangers of extreme heat.
Right. It's not just a fun little experiment. It's a serious environment.
Exactly. Heat stroke and dehydration are major risks out there. You got to respect the power of this environment.
Absolutely. You're completely at the mercy of the elements in a place like that.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so from the scorching heat of Death Valley to the bone-chilling cold of Oymyakon, Russia, our journey takes us to the coldest permanently inhabited place on Earth.
Okay, so bundle up. This is going to be a drastic change.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, imagine a place where winter temperatures average around negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, my God.
And the lows can plummet to negative 90. That's colder than Mars.
I can't even fathom that kind of cold. Like, what does that even do to your body?
Right. I can't even imagine what daily life would be like in Oymyakon,
Yeah.
Dealing with frozen pipes, using outhouses because indoor plumbing is basically impossible.
Oh, wow.
And then think about the diet. It's mainly frozen food. I mean, it's just a constant battle against the elements.
I've heard, even breathing in that kind of cold can be painful.
Oh, yeah. Freeze your lungs.
So people who live there, they must have, some serious survival skills.
Absolutely. Fur coats aren't just the fashion statement there. They're necessity.
Right. It's a testament to, human adaptability.
Yeah.
But it also highlights the limits of human endurance. How far can we push ourselves before the environment just wins?
That's a good question. All right, let's take a plunge now into the depths. We're going to the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean.
Oh, wow. The Mariana Trench, that's the ultimate abyss. We know so little about it.
It's so deep that if you dropped Mount Everest into it, the peak would still be underwater. Can you even imagine that?
That's mind-blowing. And the pressure down there, it's got to be, insane.
Over 1,000 times the pressure at sea level.
So basically, anything that goes down there would get crushed instantly.
Pretty much. It's a hostile environment that really challenges our understanding of life on Earth.
Yeah, it's a reminder that there's still so many mysteries in the world, places we can barely even comprehend.
Absolutely. So we've explored the natural depths of the ocean, but now let's turn our attention to a depth created by humans. We're heading to the Mir diamond mine in Russia.
Okay, a diamond mine. I'm listening.
This massive open pit mine, it's so deep that helicopters are actually banned from flying over it.
Wait, why is that?
Because of the fear of being sucked into a vortex.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, it's a real concern. The combination of warm air rising from the mine and cold air at the surface, it can create these powerful downdrafts.
So it's like a giant vacuum.
Basically, it's just incredibly dangerous for helicopters to fly nearby.
Wow. That's a testament to the power of both human ingenuity and the forces of nature.
Right. We can create these incredible structures, but nature can still, throw a curveball.
Totally. It's a humbling reminder that we're not always in control.
Yeah. Okay, so from man-made depths to a treacherous coastline where the desert meets the sea.
Ooh, where are we headed now?
We're journeying to the skeleton coast of Namibia.
The skeleton coast. That sounds ominous.
Oh, it is. It's as eerie as it sounds. Vast stretches of sand dunes, shipwrecks scattered along the shore.
So it's not just the name that's scary. The place itself is actually dangerous.
Oh, yeah. It's incredibly unforgiving. A lack of fresh water, extreme temperatures, and then there are predators like lions and hyenas.
Wow, so you've got danger coming at you from all sides.
Yeah.
The environment, the animals.
Right, and then there are the shipwrecks, right?
Yeah.
Countless vessels have met their end along this treacherous coastline, just adding to that eerie atmosphere.
It's a graveyard of ships.
It really is, and it's just a stark reminder of the power of nature and the, fragility of human endeavors. It's definitely not a place you'd want to get stranded.
No, definitely not. I can imagine the feeling of isolation out there would be overwhelming. Just you and the elements.
Yeah, and the ghosts of those shipwrecks.
It really challenges our romanticized notions of coastlines, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Instead of idyllic beaches and gentle waves, it's a harsh reality of survival against the odds.
Yeah. A true test of human resilience.
Okay, well, get ready for another dose of reality because our next stop is about to shatter any idyllic image of peaceful lakes. We're diving into the world of lethal lakes.
Lethal lakes. That doesn't sound good.
And first up is Lake Karachay in Russia. This lake is so polluted with radioactive waste that spending just an hour on its shores could be fatal.
Wow. Radioactive waste. How did that happen?
During the Soviet era, it was used as a dumping ground for radioactive waste from a nearby nuclear facility.
So it's basically a giant nuclear wasteland.
Pretty much. The levels of radiation are so high that it's considered one of the most polluted places on Earth.
It's a chilling reminder of the long-term consequences of human actions, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. We often don't think about the lasting impact of, our choices on the environment.
Right. And those choices can have repercussions for generations to come.
Absolutely. But, lakes don't have to be radioactive to be deadly. Take the boiling lake in Dominica, for example. It's literally a cauldron of scalding water.
Wow, a boiling lake. That sounds incredible and incredibly dangerous.
Oh, it is. It's like something straight out of a fantasy novel,
Yeah.
But definitely not a place you want to go for a swim.
And then you've got Lake Natron in Tanzania with its crazy high pH level and those petrifying properties.
Oh, yeah, that's a freaky one. The alkaline water is so caustic that it can burn skin and preserve animal carcasses.
So it's like a natural mummification process.
Basically, creates this really haunting landscape of calcified remains.
Wow. These lakes, each dangerous in their own unique way, they really highlight the incredible diversity and power of natural forces.
Yeah, they challenge our perceptions of what's safe, what's not.
And remind us that danger can lurk in the most unexpected places.
All right, so let's take a break from the doom and gloom for a sec and head to a slightly less deadly but still risky destination.
Okay.
The Devil's Pool in Zambia.
The Devil's Pool. I've seen pictures of this.
Oh, yeah. It's that natural infinity pool that sits right at the edge of Victoria Falls.
Right. The views look absolutely breathtaking, but it's also like right on the edge of a massive waterfall.
Exactly. So it offers breathtaking views, but also a heart-stopping drop.
It's like one of those Graham-worthy travel trends. People risking their lives for the perfect photo op.
I have to admit the photos do look incredible, but, is risking your life for a picture at the Devil's Pool really worth it?
It's a tough question. I mean, some people thrive on that kind of risk, the adrenaline rush, the bragging rights.
Right. There are supposedly safe times to visit, but you're still sharing the water with crocodiles and hippos.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very safe to me. I think I'd rather admire it from a distance.
Yeah, probably a good idea. All right, so from a precarious pool to a landscape that feels like another planet. Our next stop is the Danakil Depression in Ethiopia.
Okay, the Danakil Depression. I don't know much about this one. Fill me in.
Imagine neon-colored hydrothermal pools, steaming vents, active volcanoes.
Wow, sounds otherworldly.
And salt flats that stretch as far as the eye can see. It's visually stunning, but it's also incredibly hostile.
So beautiful but deadly.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the hottest and driest places on Earth, and there are poisonous gases, active volcanoes. It's really challenging.
It's amazing how nature can create such extreme environments. Like, it's almost beyond our imagination.
It is. It makes you realize how small we are in the grand scheme of things.
Totally. And how powerful the forces of nature truly are.
All right, so speaking of places that demand respect and caution, let's journey to some islands that are definitely off limits.
Ooh, forbidden islands.
Oh.
I'm intrigued.
First up is Runit Island in the Marshall Islands. This island is home to a massive concrete dome. And here's the kicker. It's filled with radioactive debris from U.S. nuclear testing.
Wow. So it's like a giant nuclear time bomb just sitting there.
And get this, it's starting to crack.
Oh, no. That's not good. What would happen if that thing breaks open?
Well, the potential consequences are pretty dire. The radioactive waste could leak into the surrounding environment, right?
Yeah.
And that would pose a huge threat to marine life and human health.
It's like a ticking time bomb, a legacy of Cold War-era activities that's still affecting us today.
Yeah, a sobering reminder of the long-lasting impact of, our actions on the environment.
For sure. It makes you think about responsibility, like who's responsible for cleaning up that mess.
And speaking of legacies, our next island is Vozrozhdenia, a former Soviet bioweapons testing ground located in the Aral Sea.
A bioweapons testing ground? That sounds terrifying.
Oh, it was. This island was used to test some really deadly pathogens like anthrax, smallpox, the plague.
Wow. So it's like a real-life biohazard zone.
Basically, and there are concerns that some of these agents may still be present in the environment.
So it's not just a historical danger. It's a potential threat even today.
Right. It's a place that's just like shrouded in secrecy and danger. It's a reminder of the dark side of scientific advancement.
And the potential for devastating consequences. These islands, each with their own unique and unsettling history, they really highlight the importance of responsible scientific practices.
Totally. We have to think about the long-term impact of what we're doing, not just the immediate results.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm ready for the next stop. Where are we headed?
Okay, brace yourselves, because we're about to face the elephant in the radioactive room.
Oh boy.
The Chernobyl disaster.
Chernobyl. I knew we couldn't do a show about dangerous places without talking about Chernobyl.
And the infamous elephant's foot.
The elephant's foot. Now that's an image that's hard to forget. Can you remind us what that is exactly?
So the elephant's foot, it's a mass of corium, right? This highly radioactive material that formed during the Chernobyl nuclear disaster. It's essentially a mixture of melted nuclear fuel and reactor components.
So it's like the molten heart of the nuclear meltdown, right?
Basically. And it's still incredibly radioactive today. One of the most dangerous substances on Earth.
And you were saying if you were to stand in front of it.
Oh, you wouldn't last long. Within seconds, nausea, dizziness.
Yeah.
2 minutes of exposure, cell death, and 5 minutes, it would be fatal.
Is like pure concentrated radiation.
Yeah. It's a chilling testament to the destructive power of nuclear energy when it goes wrong.
Chernobyl was a turning point in our understanding of the risks associated with nuclear power.
Totally, totally. It showed us the potential for catastrophic consequences.
Yeah.
And really highlighted the importance of, safety protocols and responsible management of nuclear materials.
It's a lesson we can't afford to forget.
All right, so from a nuclear disaster to a maritime mystery, let's tackle the legend of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, the Bermuda Triangle. It's like the ultimate unsolved mystery, right?
Yeah.
Ships and planes vanishing without a trace.
Is it really as dangerous as they say?
Well, the Bermuda Triangle has become a breeding ground for myths and conspiracy theories, that's for sure.
Aliens. Sea monsters.
Exactly. But the reality is that region is prone to unpredictable weather patterns, strong currents, sudden storms.
So instead of attributing disappearances to, sea monsters or alien abductions, it's more likely that things like rogue waves, white squalls, and waterspouts are to blame.
Right. Nature itself can be incredibly powerful and unpredictable.
Yeah. Sometimes there are perfectly rational explanations for seemingly mysterious events.
It's easy to get caught up in the mystery and intrigue, but often the truth is much simpler.
But here's a twist. There's a place in England that's actually statistically more dangerous than the Bermuda Triangle.
Really? What is it?
It's called the Bolton Strid.
The Bolton Strid. Never heard of it.
It's a seemingly harmless stream in Yorkshire.
A stream. More dangerous than the Bermuda Triangle. I'm not buying it.
I know, right? It looks totally peaceful. But beneath the surface, there are powerful currents and hidden depths.
So it's like deceptively dangerous.
Oh, yeah. And people have died there. Falling into the Bolton Strid is almost certainly fatal.
Wow. I guess you should never judge a book by its cover or a stream by its surface.
It's a good reminder that danger can lurk beneath the surface, literally and figuratively.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into the world's most dangerous destinations. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
We hope you learned something new, and maybe even got a little bit of an adrenaline rush along the way. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep exploring.